Well, you have seen the Goodyear blimp hundreds of times in television commercials and hovering over sporting events, but I'll bet you've never been inside. Right now, we're going to take you inside with TV5's Paul Orlowski. Paul?
How are you, Jeff?
Good.
We're getting our ride. That's the Goodyear blimp as it looks from Chopper 5. We can see Chopper 5 out the window. We're in that little cabin down at the bottom of the blimp. That big bag of helium up above us holds some 202,700 cubic feet of helium, and that's what's holding us up. I'm with John Moran, who's been the pilot of the Goodyear blimp, or at least one of the Goodyear blimps, for 14.5 years. And John, first of all, thank you for the ride. What's it take to become the pilot of the Goodyear blimp?
Well, it takes a lot of luck, actually. Goodyear looks for someone who's got a commercial airplane license, and then we train them ourselves. It takes about 6 months of training in the blimp.
How many of you are there?
There are 20 of us in the whole Goodyear fleet.
Now, in 14.5 years, you've probably done some interesting things aboard the Goodyear blimps.
Oh, yes. I've traveled all over the world, more or less, with Goodyear. I've done Super Bowls, football games, World Cup soccers.
You've also had a wedding on the Goodyear blimp, he told me, and some other things. Let's take a little flight lesson, if that's all right. You can see the controls up here. What are you doing right now, John?
Well, I have 2 rudder pedals, which I push with my feet. They control our left and right, and the big wheel, which I'm controlling with my hands, controls our up and down.
Now, the big wheel is much like the controls of an airplane that you'd use with your hands out in front of you.
Yes, in an airplane, I'd be working the yoke or the stick, pulling it forwards and backwards to control our up and down.
Hey, John, thank you very much. You probably don't want to see me. Let's look out the window and see what the view looks like, because it's just lovely. There you have it, downtown Cleveland, rush hour traffic, maybe a little more steady than Chopper 5. While we look out the window, let me tell you some facts about the blimp. It travels between 35 and 50 miles per hour at about, anywhere between 1,000 and 3,000 feet, can go as high as 10,000 feet, burns 10 gallons of fuel per hour. That's as much as a 747 uses in taxiing out to the runway. Travels 100,000 miles every year, and here's its measurements: 192, 59, 50. That's feet. It's a big thing, and it's a 7-seat craft. You're looking at it again from Chopper 5 on the outside. And the blimps are replaced, every 6 to 8 years. They've got as long as 10 years out of a blimp, and there's 3 of them in service right now. That's really about the story from up here. It's a lot bigger than I expected inside. You don't really have to get cramped at all. I can stand up, and I'm 6 feet tall.
Paul, give us a sense of the size of the gondola that you're in. Is that the size of a small living room or a bedroom, or?
Oh, it's about 6 feet wide. Let me try to stand up. If Rich can follow me, I can show you the height of it. You see, I can stand up okay. And it's, I would guess, about 15 feet to the rear of the cabin.
And it's quiet and a smooth ride up there, right?
It's not too bad. We've got the engines kind of throttled down right now, a little noisier once we get moving again.
I see. That's
Looks
a great
like it's a thrill for you.
I'm sorry?
It looks like it's a thrill for you.
It is. This is great. I'm having a great time.
Too bad you couldn't take your family along, huh?
Boy, that's going to be a sore subject when I get home.
I bet. Thanks, Paul.
Okay,
Thanks, Paul.
We're going to be heading back out west, or east rather. If people want to look out the front door, we'll be heading east back out to Lost Nation Airport.
Thank you.
Okay.
You've seen the Goodyear blimp from the angle Paul Orlowski got today.
We've all seen it on TV before, the Goodyear blimp, but not from the inside. The words blimp and Goodyear have become synonymous. That's why the company spends $1.5 million per ship per year. The skin is rubber coated and about as thick as a new pair of blue jeans. The sides have been outfitted with thousands of colored lights for nighttime advertising. There are 4 Goodyear airships, a ground crew of 16 and an air crew of 6 accompany each blimp. Is there any doubt what type of tires they use? This one is America and based in Houston. A rev of the engines and we're off. The pilot is John Moran, a 14.5-year blimp veteran.
Probably one of the lucky people in the world that when I get up in the morning, I can look forward to work.
The blimp moves majestically as Cleveland appears just ahead, but flying this fat bird is tricky.
One has to remember, because we are slow, it takes a long time to get in trouble, but then it takes a long time to get back out.
So there's no daydreaming. The foot controls are much like a plane's, but no stick in front. Instead, a wheel controls flaps.
Blimp is very unique in its feel and requires a pilot to get back to seat of the pants, a feel rather than just instrument flying.
This bird casts a mean shadow, and landing is tricky business. Many gauges are like any planes, but some no plane will ever see. John Moran has seen Super Bowls, baseball games, tennis, golf, car racing, and even gone offshore to count whales in the blimp. But nothing beats a call he got in 1970 from the Minneapolis police about a streaker.
Asked if we could help in keeping sight of him until they caught him. We caught sight of him and kept in radio contact, and they did catch him.
All in a day's work. Paul Orlowski, TV5 Eyewitness News Update.
Paul, by the way, said he had a wonderful time doing that.